Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous. Back at home.
Well, hello there and welcome to the show. I'm Jimmy. I'm the host of the show. Welcome to my house. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know about America yet, but I feel great again. I really do. Oh.
Have a great show, Jimmy. And don't forget your breakfast.
Thank you, cartoon birds. Wow, that really hit the spot. We have a new president of the United States. It was Inauguration Day here in the USA. Joseph Rapunzel Biden is our 46th president. It feels like, I have to imagine this is what it feels like when the oncologist calls and tells you the tumor is benign. You know, I remember going back to the day Trump was inaugurated, such a terrible day, and wondering, can our country even survive 4 years of this? And now we know the answer. Not really, just barely, but we made it. Mar-a-Lago left town bright and early this morning. He exited the White House via one of his favorite modes of transportation with the help of an old acquaintance. Thank you.
Donald, hey, look at you, you big lug. Get in there, come on. Game's over. Very fine seats on both sides. Driver, get us the out of here.
And he lived gravelly ever after. Billy Bush always gets the last laugh. What a day. There was no violence, no unrest. In fact, as far as protests go, this was about it. One guy showed up at the New York State Capitol. He said he drove 45 minutes to stage a protest and was disappointed no one else showed up. At least he's social distancing. Today, this country showed the world that there is no MyPillow large enough to smother our democracy. It was a beautiful inauguration ceremony. We got to hear a poem that wasn't boring from a brilliant 22-year-old here in Los Angeles named Amanda Gorman. Our new Vice President, Kamala Harris, made history, as did her second lady, Doug. Garth Brooks sang Amazing Grace and then ran around and kissed everybody. COVID be damned. And this was pretty great. 2 weeks ago, a bunch of dangerous imbeciles with Donald Trump flags tried to overthrow our government. Today, on that very same spot, we had the national anthem sung by Lady Gaga. To paraphrase Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go J-Lo. And we did. It was a very well-done inauguration, highlighted by a strong and assuring debut for our new commander-in-chief. Joe Biden gave a great speech. He spoke convincingly about unity and healing. He said it's time to end this uncivil war. It was the kind of speech that made you want to call your grandpa and tell him you love him. It really was special. And I have to say, watching the Obamas, then the Clintons, the Bushes, and then the Bidens all walk through that door to welcome a new president to the White House, it was like when all the Avengers came back together to beat Thanos. That's the extent of my historical references. Almost everyone at the inauguration wore purple to show red and blue unity. They wore purple. Also a shout out to Prince. Unfortunately, someone forgot to tell Bernie Sanders about this purple plan. He was one of the first people there. He showed up holding a manila envelope as if he had an appointment at the DMV. There was a lot of discussion online about what Bernie was wearing, which, as you can see, was his most festive mittens and a mask he found on the floor of his wife's Subaru. Sadly, Senator Sanders had to duck out early when his neighbor Larry called to say he found his hat. And Mike Pence left early, too. The now former commander of the Space Force departed immediately after Biden was sworn in.
So help you God?
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Back to Mother on the Mothership. And while Joe Biden was being sworn in Florida at Mar-a-Lago, an omelet bar attendant was being sworn at. Our crazy ex-POTUS threw himself a going-away party at Joint Base Andrews this morning. The president was said to be visibly dejected because not many people showed up for the party, but those who did got to see him give thanks.
This has been an incredible 4 years. We've accomplished so much together. I want to thank all of my family and my friends and my staff and so many other people for being here. I want to thank you for your effort, your hard work, People have no idea how hard this family worked. They worked, and they worked for you. They could have had a much easier life.
Yeah, you really screwed them all, didn't you? The whole Trump family was there to help Presidaddy go. Eric and DJ TJ cried as their father left on Air Force One. I tell you what, it is heartbreaking to see children separated from their parents, isn't it? But before he did go, this is how Trump closed things out.
I hope they don't raise your taxes. But if they do, I told you so. So just a goodbye. We love you. We will be back in some form. So have a good life. We will see you soon.
Have a good life. That's what you say to your girlfriend when she breaks up with you. Have a good life. And we will be back in some form. That's ominous. What form? A Demogorgon? A Horcrux? Maybe he'll come back as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't know. I just hope someone remembered to wake Ben Carson up to let him know he needs to clear out his office. Possible he's still up in there. And as for Donald Trump, who knows what's next? I'll tell you this, he is gonna go nuts sitting in that country club. I've been to Mar-a-Lago, by the way. Years ago, before he was president, I had dinner there once. It is a bunch of very, very old people quietly eating meatloaf. It's like a gaudy rest home. Nothing goes on. Nothing happens. He won't make it a week in there. He'll be calling it to Hannity by Friday night, guaranteed. You know, the Wall Street Journal reported yesterday Trump may want to start his own political party to punish the Republicans who defied him. I love that. What kind of party are you going to put together? Even when he was president, he was barely able to book 3 doors down to play his party. Trump spent his final hours in the White House plotting revenge against Liz Cheney and Republicans who voted to impeach, and also deciding who to pardon. Basically, he spent his last day in office making a list of his criminal friends and checking it twice, like evil Santa Claus. Trump issued 144 pardons late last night. He pardoned 2 rappers, Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, his 2 favorites. He pardoned his former hench monster, Steve Bannon, who was charged with fraud for allegedly scamming Trump supporters who donated to a crowdfund campaign. 100% of the proceeds from this campaign were supposed to pay for the wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for. Authorities say that wall money somehow wound up in Steve Bannon's pockets, but now he is free to fraud again. The list of Trump cronies and Republican donors on this list of pardons is long, but the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, did not get a pardon as he had hoped. And Trump also didn't pardon himself, or did he? Some legal experts pointed out that Trump could have secretly pardoned himself and is planning to keep it on the DL until he needs it later, which is, it's insane that that's how it works. You can pardon yourself, and then if you get arrested, you pull out some paper and say, surprise. That Constitution they wrote might need some tightening up. Trump did do one decent thing. He left a note for Joe Biden. He left Biden a note, and he also left Eric to reset the pins at the White House bowling alley. Melania, on the other hand, this is a nice little bit of gossip. Traditionally, when her time in the White House is up, the First Lady leaves personal thank you notes for the staff, for the maids and the cooks and all the people who take care of them. They get a note. Well, Melania, instead of writing or even dictating the notes herself, had a staff member write them in her voice, and then they typed them up and she signed her name on them. See, there was a fake Melania after all. How do you write in Melania's voice? You did good washing. Thank you to you. You know, the White House staff only has 5 hours to get the place ready for a new first family. The old family leaves and the new family comes in, which was a challenge for the cleaning crew. I mean, the ring Trump left in the bathtub alone could only be removed by the fires of Mount Doom. Of course, it was easier to prepare the living quarters for the Bidens because they sleep in the same bedroom. The bar for Joe Biden is low, and it's going to be an adjustment to have a president who is presidential. It's hard to imagine Joe Biden even saying the kinds of things Trump said, but the good news is we don't have to imagine because we put Trump's words into Biden's mouth, and this is what comes out.
We are going to build a great wall along the southern border, and Mexico will pay for the wall. Believe me. We won with the highly educated. We won with the poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I have done more for the African American community than any president other than Abraham Lincoln. ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He is the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton.
What? Oh, he's not so sleepy anymore, I guess. You know, this is my last show of the Trump administration, and it feels like the end. It feels a welcome end to a chapter of my life. You probably feel that way too, but you know what they say, don't cry because it's over, cry because it happened. And there are better times ahead. I have to believe that. A new president, a new vice president, no more Jared and Ivanka and DJ, TJ. Rudy Giuliani is back hanging upside down in his cave. For God's sake, today Mitch McConnell fist bumped Barack Obama. There's a feeling in the air of celebration and joy. So we say goodbye to Donald Trump, not with venom, not with scorn, but with optimism, jubilance, and celebration.
The truth is, we won the election by a landslide. We won it big. Today, I'm going to give you the facts that every American needs to know. Let's go back.
Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Move.
God bless America.
Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous.